We're taking a look at the Classic Army VCW. Shut up. Sent over for me to review by Fox Airsoft. I'm going to put a link in the description. It's going to be the first link, top of the description, as to where you can buy it. And be sure to check out all our products. And let's unbox the gun. I think I scared Fritz away. He's behind the camera now, which is still pretty good. Don't know. So we're going to do the unboxing. Obviously, not obviously, but as most AGs come, it comes in this cardboard box. As you see, let's see what's inside the box. Dun, 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 dun. Fritz, I need some music to open this. By mouth. Okay, stop. Here we have the manual with the safety information on the back, just in case you are not able to figure out what stupid shit not to do on your own. They tell you, which is great. Next up, you have a plastic included foregrip, which is pretty comfortable. It's really ergonomic. It feels nice in your hand. You have not one, but two high capacity magazines, 300 rounds. Very cool. Oh, it's windy. Very cool of them to throw in. Comes with a lot of stuff. This is a Pro Line gun. Let me just say that. It's one of Classic Army's Pro Line, which is their top models. And usually Pro Line guns or higher end guns don't come with this many stuff in the box. So that's pretty cool. Next up, this one's very interesting. We have a Deans to Tamiya adapter. Since this gun is wired to Deans, but they were nice enough to include an adapter in case you only use Tamiya batteries. Finally, second to finally, I lied. Third to finally. Fourth to finally? Jeez. You have a jamming / cleaning rod. Pretty standard. Here's the gun with everything on, but you have two metal flip-up sights. See, it really does come with a lot of stuff in this package. I was very impressed by that. And finally, second to finally, wow, I'm good. You have this Classic Army sound amplifier that actually works pretty well, like you'll see later on in the video. And for real, finally, you have the gun. It is really nice, guys. It's full metal, weighs a ton. Beautiful. We're going to start off by talking about the externals, then we're going to move on to the internals and all the other fun stuff. For starters, starting from the front, moving on to the back, the amplifier is weirdly not threaded to 14mm negative or counterclockwise threading. It has a much larger threading. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's larger. However, it does come with a little thread adapter already. It's not attached, it's separate. And that allows you to screw it onto the barrel, even though the barrel is threaded to 14mm counterclockwise or negative threading, which is standard for most airsoft suppressors, flash hiders, and what else? Amplifiers in the market. Next up, we have a full metal quad rail system. This is really important to me, or I think it's a good thing in general, because this is a CQB length gun, which means it's shorter, but this quad rail will still allow you to mount all the accessories you could possibly want to mount, unless they're enormous, then not so much. Next up, we have two metal, removable and adjustable, for windage and elevation flip-up sights. So if you don't want to use them, you can take them off. If you want to use them, great. They're actually functional. Since this is one of Classic Army's Pro Line guns, like I mentioned earlier, it is full metal, has a really nice weight. It's not too heavy. It's significantly heavy for a CQB gun, but it has a nice feel, so that's good. So you have, obviously, because it's full metal upper and lower receivers. And let me just say something. They did a great job with the detail on this gun. I'm going to show you guys up here. It is deeply engraved. There's no laser engraving bullshit. This is not getting rubbed off anytime soon. They have all those nice trademarks. Even the safe, semi, and auto, I keep on showing you until you get bored. Even the safe, semi, and auto is all deeply engraved. And if you pull back the charging handle, which is how you access the hop-up like most normal M4s, you'll see that metal dial-style hop-up. And you'll also see the laser engraved, more detailed markings over there. Really, really cool. Next up, we have a polymer pistol grip, which is actually pretty comfortable. Right there. The only ambidextrous part of this entire gun is the sling mount points in the back. You have metal sling mount points, one on either side. The rest is non-ambidextrous, so that might be a problem for some of you lefties out there, but I don't know. I shoot lefty, I don't have a problem with it. Finally, for the externals, we have a retractable crane stock. I think it has like 4 or 5 points of retraction, I'm not sure, but it has enough for you to adjust it properly to whatever body size you have. One of the annoying parts of this gun, it's really not a big deal, but this crane stock has limited battery space. That doesn't mean it has small battery space, but that means that a lot of the recent stocks in the market have a ton of battery space, and this is standard. It's not a big deal, I just thought I'd point it out. So that about rounds up the externals. Time to move on to the internals. For starters, we have a 191mm in length, 6.03 in diameter Type bore barrel. The barrel is rather short, but that makes sense because the gun is rather short. However, the 6.03 Type bore barrel does make up for it in accuracy. So we started off talking about the internals in the front of the gun, so now we're going to jump to the rear of the gun. In the buffer tube, you have an inline MOSFET, which protects your trigger contacts. It's not programmable or anything, but it's fine.
You have low resistance silver wiring, wired to Dean's. Like I mentioned earlier, it does come with an adapter in the box, so no worries there. Moving along to the gearbox, we have a version 2 gearbox, which is standard for pretty much all airsoft M4s in the market. We have 9mm bearings, we have 21:1 ratio wire cut gears, and we have a metal bearing spring guide, which is quick change, so that's awesome. To finish off the internals, you have a steel bore-up cylinder with an aluminum bore-up cylinder head. So as you can see, it does come with a lot internally that you wouldn't find in a lot of other airsoft guns on the market. That pretty much rounds up most of the information I gathered on this gun. However, if you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. Awesome. Next up, this gun shoots around 350 to 375 FPS. It's advertised as 375 to 400, but it's not. It's fine though, not a big deal. I just figured I'd point it out. It's full metal, it's the Proline series, I mentioned that a few times. I do have one gripe about this gun, but before that, let me tell you how much this is going to run you. On Fox Airsoft, you can get it for $279.99, which is a pretty good price for what's included. Finally, my only gripe about this gun was the fact that on a 7.4 LiPo, which is what I tested it with, the trigger response and the rate of fire were not at all great. It was actually less than great, which disappointed me. I know you guys are going to say that, oh, you can use an 11.1 or a higher voltage battery and it'll do much better, and I agree with you. I didn't test it myself since this isn't my gun. However, I've seen videos with them testing higher batteries, more powerful batteries, and it did seem a lot better. So it's up to you if you want a chance using an 11.1 in your gun. Otherwise, you can go with like a 9.6 and you should be fine. So that's just my gripe. I do think with the 7.4 it should perform better, but that's just my opinion. Now it's time for the verdict. Do I recommend this gun to you or not? I'm going to give 2 different categories and you decide which one you fall into. If you pick category number 1, I recommend you buy it. If you pick category number 2, I'm not saying don't buy it, but I'm saying there are other options that may suit you better. Category number 1, do you care about full metal? Is a full metal gun important to you? If so, this is a really high quality feeling, solid feeling full metal gun. It comes with a ton in the box. That's a pro for both categories. Most high-end guns, like I mentioned earlier, don't come with this much in the box. Number 2, do you want to spend money on upgrades in the future, or do you just want something that's pre-upgraded and not have to spend the money on it? If so, if you're the second option, you don't want to spend money on upgrades, once again, this comes with a lot of pre-upgrades. This is the gun for you. Category number 2, do you not care about full metal that much? Are you fine with the high quality polymer? / do you plan on spending money on upgrades in the future? If the answer is yes to both of those, if you don't care about polymer, if polymer is okay with you, and you do plan on spending money for upgrades, you can get other guns with like a programmable MOSFET and a bunch of other cool stuff if you're going to throw money into upgrades anyways for around the same price point. Not saying, please don't get me wrong, I do like this gun. I think it's a really good gun. I just don't know if it's your best option. I don't think it might not be your best option, let me word it like that, if you fall into the second category. So I think that about rounds up everything I had to say about this gun. If I missed anything and you have a question about it, please once again comment down below. Anyways, to Fox Airsoft, thank you so much for sending this over for me to review. I hope you enjoyed the video. And to the rest of you guys, please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Help me get to like 10 billion subscribers or something. I try to keep my goals realistic. So yeah, 10 billion sounds about right. And see you in the next review.